A $100,000 salary is $8,333 a month before taxes. It is also higher than the median American household income. So why can six figures still feel like the money is already gone? Start with one clearly labeled hypothetical household. Two married adults, one child, one full-time income, living in Queens, New York. MIT's 2026 Living Wage Calculator estimates that this family needs about $104,585 in annual income before taxes to cover a basic needs budget. Not a luxury budget, a basic one. The salary that sounds like financial arrival is already about $4,600 short. And that estimate does not include restaurant meals, vacations, unpaid time off, retirement contributions, or long-term savings. This family is not poor in the way that word is normally used. Feeling broke here means something narrower. Income is coming in, bills are being paid, but almost none of the money remains uncommitted. The number on the job offer says $100,000. The structure of the month says there is no room. Here is what the Queens model actually contains. Housing is about $36,700 a year, or roughly $3,060 a month. Food is about $10,400 a year. Medical costs are about $12,400. Transportation is a little over $10,000. Internet and mobile service add about $2,200. Civic participation, things like education, reading, fees, admissions, pets, toys, and basic community activities adds about $7,700. Then there is another category for clothing, household supplies, personal care, and other necessities, about $9,600. Together, the family needs approximately $89,000 after taxes just to fund those categories. MIT's tax model converts that into about $104,585 before taxes. This is important. The calculator is not quietly building a luxury lifestyle. Its food estimate is based on a low-cost plan with meals prepared at home. Its housing estimate uses federal fair market rent data for standard quality housing. The methodology describes each category as the lowest cost option that still meets a minimum adequate standard. In other words, this is closer to a floor than a picture of comfort. There is no paid childcare line in this version because the model assumes the non-working adult provides the care. That saves cash, but it also means the household depends completely on one salary. If that job disappears, the income does not fall by half. It falls to zero. And notice what did not create the problem. It was not one expensive dinner. It was not a new phone. It was not a daily coffee. National spending data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that housing and transportation alone account for just over half of average household spending. The month is shaped by the large recurring categories before the small decisions even begin. That is why cutting a few minor purchases can feel responsible and still fail to create meaningful breathing room. The savings are fighting a structure that was already built. A salary is presented as one annual number. Your life does not operate that way. Rent arrives monthly. Insurance is deducted from a paycheck. Transportation costs appear as a car payment, fuel, maintenance, tolls, or transit. Medical costs arrive as premiums, co-pays, prescriptions, and bills. The brain sees one large account called income, then dozens of smaller accounts called housing, car, health, food, and family. Behavioral economists call this mental accounting. We sort money into categories and treat those categories differently, even though every dollar competes with every other dollar. That makes each commitment easier to accept in isolation. A housing payment may look affordable compared with gross income. A car payment may look affordable compared with one paycheck. A subscription may look too small to matter. But the household does not pay those commitments separately. They all reach into the same net income. This is the first mechanism behind the six-figure contradiction: gross pay anchoring. The round annual number becomes the reference point for what the household believes it can afford. But spending happens from a smaller, after-tax monthly pool. The second mechanism is fixed cost lock-in. Once housing, transportation, insurance, and recurring bills are established, they claim the next paycheck before it arrives. The third is reference income. $100,000 is above the national median, but its practical meaning changes with household size and location. Research on income and well-being supports an important caution. Absolute income still matters. More income generally helps. But the same nominal salary can create very different lives when the costs attached to that life are different. So the lesson is not that $100,000 is secretly worthless. The lesson is salary is an incomplete measurement. Keep the household exactly the same. 2 adults, 1 worker, 1 child. Now move it. In Harris County, Texas, MIT estimates the required before-tax income at about $72,400. In Queens, it rises to about $104,600. In Santa Clara County, California, it reaches about $120,800. Same family structure, same number of workers, same goal: cover a minimum but adequate set of basic needs. The location changes the required salary by almost $48,500 between Harris County and Santa Clara County. That is why asking whether $100,000 is a lot produces arguments instead of answers. The better question is, a lot for whom, supporting how many people, and in which cost structure? Household composition changes the answer too. In Queens, the same one-earner couple without a child has an estimated basic needs requirement of about $92,100 before taxes. Add 1 child and it rises to roughly $104,600, even though the model assigns no paid childcare cost. This is where salary milestones become psychologically dangerous. A person reaches the number they once associated with success. The number changes their expectations immediately, but the margin may not change with it. A raise can disappear into a larger apartment, a newer car, better insurance, or another recurring payment. Each upgrade may be reasonable by itself. Together, they can rebuild the same pressure at a higher income. The household earns more, spends more, and feels strangely unchanged. Not because the raise had no value, because the raise increased the size of the life it had to support. The Federal Reserve found that 59% of adults experienced at least one major, unexpected expense in the previous year. Among adults with family income of $100,000 or more, the share was 62%. A high income does not stop cars from breaking, appliances from failing, or medical bills from arriving. What changes the impact of that surprise is margin. A repair is an inconvenience when the month has room. The same repair becomes credit card debt when every dollar already has a destination. So instead of judging financial control by salary alone, use a 3-line test. First, how much money reaches the household after taxes and payroll deductions? Second, how much of that money is already committed to recurring essentials and contractual payments? Third, what remains truly optional? That final number is the monthly margin. Imagine 2 households that both earn $100,000. One has $1,500 left after recurring commitments. The other has $200. Their salaries look identical on a chart, but their ability to handle a repair, leave a bad job, or avoid new debt is completely different. The point is not to turn every expense into a moral failure. Housing, healthcare, transportation, and family responsibilities are real. The point is to stop using the gross salary as proof that the household must have room. There is no universal percentage that works for every household. A renter, A homeowner, a parent, and a person supporting relatives face different risks, but the direction is clear. If income rises while margin stays flat, the household did not gain much control. If a recurring cost falls and margin rises, the household gained options, even if the salary did not change. That is the real reason someone can make $100,000 and still feel broke. The salary measures earning power. The margin measures the ability to absorb a surprise, change direction, or say no. And there is one more way that margin disappears. Some bills are not attached to the life you are living now. They are attached to purchases you moved into your future. You paid $25 today. The other $75 is waiting inside your next 3 paychecks.